Welcome. Our program is about to begin. Please find your seats and silence your electronic devices as a courtesy to our speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome JobsOhio Board Chairman Josh Rubin.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us here for our 2026 second quarter board meeting. We have a lot of really good news to share with you today, and we're excited to get going. Let me start with some recent headlines that I'm sure many of you saw. Just this past week, we learned that Central Ohio's jobs growth was 10 times faster than the U.S. average last year. And when you look at the 55 largest metropolitan areas, Columbus posted the fourth fastest rate of job growth. First in the Midwest for jobs growth, number one. That's great news for Columbus and the region, and it's also great news for Ohio. But we have more work to do. My friend Ray Leach, whom many of you probably know, showed me a chart last week that showed America's most affluent metropolitan areas in 1949. Believe it or not, Ohio had 6 cities in the top 15. Cleveland was second, Toledo was 5th, Dayton was 6th, Akron was 7th, Youngstown was 11th, and Columbus was 14th. 6 cities in the top 15. I know that was 3/4 of a century ago, and obviously a lot has changed, but that's the Ohio we want to see. That's the Ohio we need to continue to work towards. Some of you may have seen a recent interview on CNBC with Jeff Bezos, and it was interesting. He was talking about the only way to solve a problem is to get to the root of the issues that are causing the problem. Seems pretty simple, right? But he said once you can fix that, once you can solve it at the root, you can fix the problem forever. And I'm really excited that what we are doing at JobsOhio, and some of what you're going to hear about today, is really getting to the root of these issues. Let me give you just one example. You're about to hear about a $300 million investment JobsOhio is making in experiential learning. This is a program that's going to make sure our employers from across the state have the talent they need to succeed, and it's also going to give people a pathway to secure a great job. It's a game changer, and I can't wait for you to hear more about it. I guess it's appropriate, as we celebrate our nation's 250th anniversary, to quote Thomas Jefferson. He said, "I like the dreams of the future better than the history of the past." And it seems to me that our future is brighter than ever. So again, thank you for being here, and with that, we will call our meeting to order. The first order of business is to approve the minutes of our last public meeting on April 2nd. Those minutes have been distributed. Are there any edits or suggestions regarding the minutes? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
It is moved. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, the minutes are approved from April 2nd. Thank you. Our next order of business is the President's report, and I will turn it over to JP.
Thank you, Chairman Rubin, members of the board, JobsOhio Network partners, and our dedicated JobsOhio team. It's great to join you today for our second quarter of 2026 public board meeting. We welcome everyone attending today and viewing by webcast. As a quick reminder, you can find video recordings of all our public board meetings dating back to 2022, along with our financial statements, our 990 filings, and project incentives since 2015 on our website. Mr. Chairman, I'm pleased to report that 2026 is off to a good start. Through the first part of the year, we've closed 98 projects that will create over 4,000 new jobs, retain nearly 12,000 existing jobs, and drive $3.4 billion in fixed capital investment across Ohio. Just as encouraging is the momentum ahead. We have a robust pipeline of projects currently in development with nearly double the number of projected new jobs and payroll compared to the same point this time last year. These wins are diverse and catalytic, including June 1st, Hikma Pharmaceuticals, a global company headquartered in the United Kingdom, announced that it will invest $267 million across its Columbus and Bedford facilities, creating 350 new direct jobs. The company is already the largest manufacturing employer in the city of Columbus, which is home to one of the 3 global R&D hubs with more than 1,200 employees. This is particularly sweet because it affirms Hikma's deepening commitment to Ohio and our state's emerging momentum in the trillion-dollar pharma and life sciences sector, which underscores the value and competitive advantages achieved by prior investments in the Ohio Discovery Corridor, the innovation districts, and the biomanufacturing workforce initiative. The next day, OP Mobility, a global leader in sustainable mobility and technology partner to the automotive manufacturers, announced the construction of a new manufacturing plant in the greater Toledo area. This facility in Wood County is expected to begin operations in the second half of 2027 using next-generation advanced manufacturing technologies. The plant is expected to create more than 500 jobs across production, logistics, engineering, and support functions. AeroVironment, Inc., a defense technology leader delivering integrated capabilities across air, land, sea, space, and cyber, announced plans to invest $15 million to add advanced production capacity in Greene County, near Dayton. The company will expand its existing sites in Xenia and Beaver Creek, adding over 40,000 square feet of production space and 200 new direct jobs. The project is another proof point that proximity matters, close to Wright-Patterson and the Air Force Research Laboratory, which are magnets for companies and a catalyst for growth across the advanced aerospace and defense supersector that JobsOhio has been targeting since 2020 and the Dayton region has been focused on for nearly 25 years. As we continue efforts to make this momentum the new normal Ohioans should expect for years to come, it's worth remembering, as Chairman Rubin referenced, that it hasn't always been this way. For decades after our peak, Ohio watched jobs and industry and population leave our state. We were placed near the bottom of national rankings, losing 9 congressional seats since the 70s. Halting this downward trajectory is one of the reasons the legislature came together to improve Ohio's business climate and create JobsOhio. Over the last decade, Ohio's moved from overlooked to routinely ranked among the most competitive states in America. A few reference points. CNBC's Best States for Business ranked Ohio number 1 in the nation for infrastructure, and Site Selection's Global Groundwork Index ranks Ohio number 2 for infrastructure development, fixed capital asset investments, and job creation. In March, Site Selection's Governor's Cup rankings put Ohio at number 3 nationally for total economic development projects and number 3 for projects per capita. And Ohio remains the only state in America consistently in the top 5 in both of those categories each of the last 7 years. Ohio's finished in the top 3 in mega project wins 3 years running and remained number 2 nationally in job creation for reshoring and global company investment. As population and demand for workforce enter center stage, Ohio has experienced positive net domestic in-migration for the second consecutive year, the first time this has happened since the early 90s. And you can see the results in our impact metrics as well. Since 2019, more than 3,100 projects supported nearly $100 billion in capital investment and more than 160,000 direct jobs. These outcomes belong to Ohio communities, businesses, universities, and workforce partners. As encouraging as those numbers are, sustaining this momentum depends on one thing above all else: talent and workforce. The growth Ohio is experiencing is creating real pressure on that pipeline. And by the mid-2030s, Ohio will need over 500,000 additional engineers, technicians, AI experts, and operators. That's why JobsOhio's talent strategy is straightforward: attract, retain, and develop the workforce. We've also heard a very consistent message from companies and site selection consultants that we work with. Workforce availability remains amongst the top factors where companies choose to invest and grow. and we must ensure Jobs Ohio and our state delivers on our promise to these companies and to our workforce. 8 days ago, alongside Governor DeWine, we announced Jobs Ohio's Experiential Learning Initiative, an up to $300 million investment over 10 years designed to strengthen Ohio's talent pipeline through paid work-based learning opportunities. The initiative will roll out in phases beginning in the third quarter of this year, supporting employers to train technicians in advanced manufacturing, advanced aerospace and defense, healthcare, technology, and other high-demand industries. In Phase 1, we'll launch a Technician Earn and Learn program that connects Ohioans with high-wage careers while helping employers develop the skilled workforce that they need. That's an intentional focus. Of the 540,000 STEM and technically skilled workers our state will need over the next decade, more than 230,000 of those are technicians. Whether a company manufactures semiconductors, aircraft, pharmaceuticals, or advanced technologies, technicians are the backbone of modern production. Our team worked with over 200 Ohio businesses, our state partners, and our academic partners. For participating employers, the program offers up to $10,000 per employee enrolled in an approved experiential pathway, including an associate's degree, a technical certificate, or an apprenticeship, and completes key milestones specific to each pathway. Employers must also provide a minimum wage of $20 per hour, ensuring participants earn meaningful wages while gaining new skills essential for the jobs of the future. It's a practical investment with benefits for the entire ecosystem. Employers build a pipeline of skilled talent, while Ohioans gain a pathway into high-demand, high-paying careers. To see why this is catalytic for Ohio businesses, learners, and communities, let's watch a short video.
We have had huge victories. We have brought companies into the state of Ohio.
Businesses are coming back. We've gone from a bottom 10 state to a top 10 state. All these businesses require technicians.
$300 million commitment that Jobs Ohio is making, putting these companies together, and this is aimed at getting people prepared for real jobs in the real world.
This $300 million investment goes into making sure our workforce is abundant and create a classroom-to-career scenario, upskilling, attracting, and matching them with careers that create high-value jobs.
Utilizing internships, co-ops, putting people into that business right then at the same time they're getting the academic.
It's a win-win-win to continue the trajectory of what's needed for our economy, given the jobs that are here now and the jobs that are projected for the future.
As we move now to high-tech manufacturing, high-tech aerospace, everything, we're going to need in the next 10 years over 250,000 new technicians.
As a manufacturer, we need that talent. So for Jobs Ohio to step up in a really bold way and put money into the solutions that have been collaboratively crafted with all the right players at the table, such a game changer.
This helps us not only deliver on our promise for the workforce, for these companies that are coming here and flocking here now, but it also creates opportunity to keep our children and grandchildren in Ohio and invite more people that are not in Ohio today to become Ohioans. Now we'll hear from the distinguished guests we've invited here today to share their perspectives on this program and its value. For introductions, I'll hand off to Molly Moses, Jobs Ohio's Interim Managing Director for Talent. Molly joined Jobs Ohio almost 5 years ago with tremendous experience, and she has quickly earned the respect of partners, colleagues, and leaders. Molly.
Thank you, JP, and members of the Jobs Ohio Board. I am so pleased to be here today to talk about experiential learning and the importance of Earn and Learn programs. As I've been talking across the past several weeks with Chairman Rubin and the rest of the board, we've talked about how important collaboration truly is. It really does take private industry. It takes the collaboration of our workforce and higher education partners to really understand and meet the needs of both the employers and the talent. So we are pleased to talk more about this initiative and its impact. We designed the Earn and Learn program, as JP mentioned, with the support and with the collaboration of all of our partners across the state. So we are happy to talk more about the program today. Today, we have brought together a few of the partners that have been involved in those conversations, both on the employer side and on the higher education side. So we've also got a very talented employee from Worthington Industries here with us today that is going to share. So to introduce our panel, we have with us Amy Thompson, who is the Director of Human Resources at Worthington Enterprises. We have Adam Snyder, who is the President and Chief Operating Officer at Talon Products. We've got Dr. Dion Somerville, who is the president of Owens Community College, here with us, and Quadri Jennings, who is a multi-trade maintenance technician at Worthington Enterprises, and we're so excited to hear more about his particular story. So Dr. Somerville, I'd love to start with you. Can you tell us why Earn and Learn programs are so effective and why this program in particular is great for the state of Ohio?
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity to share. Well, Earn and Learn programs are important from a variety of perspectives. For the student to be able to actually earn a living and income while they're progressing in their career is very important. A lot of our students come to us with multiple personas that they're balancing. Sometimes education is one part of everything they're doing. They could be supporting themselves, families, caregivers, things of that nature, and so that's very important for them. The other part of it is for the employer. The employer gets to have someone who not only is getting the technical education from our classrooms, our labs, from our talented faculty, but also able to help the student bridge that connection with how it actually applies in their chosen field. We know that from a completion perspective, students are more apt to complete when they can see the connection between what they're learning on our campuses and what they are actually doing in their careers. And so that creates a wonderful bridge for them where they can complete, and the employer has an opportunity to see someone in action, and that feedback also comes back to us as our faculty continue to refine our curriculum to make sure that it's keeping date with the jobs of not only today but tomorrow.
That's right. Thank you, Dr. Somerville. An important aspect of designing this program was making sure that we were meeting both the employer needs and the needs of the talent at the same time. So I loved how you talked about the personas that a different talent member might have. They might be a mom, they are working, they are learning all at the same time. And a program like this will help them persist through their educational journey and maybe even more quickly. So some of those aspects that might have them stall out in a program, this is designed to help with that. So thank you. Amy, I'd like to transition to you. Can you tell us about Worthington Enterprises' previous experience with the Earn and Learn model and why it is so important as you were thinking about developing and retaining the talent inside of your organization?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. We really, the core idea is to build the talent you can't buy or build the talent you can't find. So we have acquired, or we've been able to hire a lot of operators relatively quickly within our facilities. And with that, they understand our culture, they understand the expectations around manufacturing, they've showed us that they're a good employee, and so we want to then try to upskill our talent from there. We've been trying to find maintenance technicians. They're incredibly difficult to find in the industry. They're very loyal to their employers. It takes a lot to get them to move, and honestly, poaching from another company just shifts the problem from one company to another, right? Because it's not sustainable. So what we've done is we've taken some of our great employees like Quadri here. They've raised their hand to say, hey, I want to do more. I want to take on more within the company. We've sent them and partnered with Tolles Technical. And we've created a curriculum or a program with them that we can send our operators to. They they work for 4 days in the facility. They go to school for 1 day. We pay them for that. They're there. They're learning, and then as they get through the program, they come back and they work in the facility and start taking on maintenance projects. Start working in the maintenance department during shutdowns and things like that. And through that program, we have been able to finally build a bench of talent rather than trying to go out and hire it, right? So they've come in, they've worked for us, they've done a phenomenal job, and for the first time in many, many years, we've been able to build a bench of talent that's going to help sustain us going forward. And it's going to become even more important as we continue to automate our equipment and automate and make our our manufacturing environment a bit more cutting edge and a bit more technologically advanced. So we need people who can troubleshoot, who can program PLCs, that can really work on a lot of that more sophisticated automation equipment, and these programs have allowed us to be able to upskill our current talent and provide a lot of development opportunities for the future for them and their families. And it's been a great win-win for us.
Thank you, Amy. It is extremely important to Jobs Ohio as we are winning new deals and having a lot of success that our employers are not poaching from each other. So thank you for talking about the importance of that. When we are thinking about talent and how to retain them, Worthington Enterprises understands that as you invest in that talent, as you develop them, you are more likely to retain them. So that's another reason this program is so important. Thank you. Adam, if you can share with us, the Technician Earn and Learn program, as we've designed it, has support services for employers. So can you tell us how those types of support services can help a company and what that would mean for your company?
Absolutely. As Amy mentioned, our operations are evolving. We have talent needs and skill needs that this program would address. But part of the nuance that is difficult is that we have product to ship every day, we have culture to drive, we have new people to find. So Jobs Ohio's commitment to continuing the collaboration that developed this program and using that collaboration to support us in going after Earn and Learn as a model is really helpful. It is hard to carve out time for our most technical people to design the OJT requirements for a technician. It's hard to figure out who to talk to at the community college necessarily. So the ability of Jobs Ohio, OMA, the sector partnerships, all the collaboration that went into the design, going into support services to make it easy for a manufacturer to engage in a program like this, it gives us the ability to do even more of it because we don't have to figure those things out ourselves. We know we're part of a group that is similarly thinking about how do we attract and retain our folks. And it's also fun to collaborate with partners in different public sector, private sector, economic development, higher ed, because we're all scrambling every day to ship the product we need, and everybody rowing in the same direction has an energizing community feel to it as well.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. We agree. It has been fun to design this incentive, but also just very, very exciting to understand the impact that it is going to have. The support services that the program is going to offer, we really believe is going to be a huge lift for our small and medium-sized employers across the state, some who have never done Earn and Learn strategies before, so we are very excited, and also excited to help larger companies scale if they have done it before, so thank you. Quadri, I'd like to shift over to you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey at Worthington and being an operator and then attending an Earn and Learn program through Tolls and being upskilled? We'd love to hear.
I started in Worthington in 2005. I was on the floor for that long. As the business started to change, and then my roles became more of a focus that they actually wanted me to change with it. So one of the things they offered was entering classes that I can start learning how to troubleshoot equipment, stuff like that. And once that happened, then they gave me the opportunity to go to classes on company time, which really helped because one of the things is time. We work 12-hour shifts. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that was difficult for me was to get time to go do extra activities. So they gave me the time to do that. They actually sent me there and paid me, which was great. So that once you start learning, getting hands-on with the equipment and troubleshooting, it started becoming a lot better.
Thank you. We appreciate that, and we understand the importance of the support an employer can provide through an Earn and Learn strategy. So thank you for telling us more about your story, Quadri. Amy, shifting back to you. So can you tell us a little bit about your current talent pipeline and what portion of your hiring efforts right now are dedicated toward those technician roles?
Yeah, thank you. So we do a really nice job of being able to hire operators pretty quickly, right? Like you can find them in the industry relatively quickly. Technicians, on the other hand, incredibly difficult to find. And like I said before, they're very loyal. Once they're at a job or a company, they're pretty loyal. They want to stay, and it takes a lot to get them to consider another opportunity. So again, unfortunately, we have to cast a very wide net. We have to spend a lot of money on resources, advertising campaigns, sometimes trying to find sourcing agencies to help us, and they don't always follow through, which isn't their fault because they're just simply not out there in the industry. It's very challenging. So we spend hours and hours and hours a week hoping to find at least one candidate, and sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. And as those numbers continue to grow, it's extremely difficult. So I would say we spend probably 50% of our week, consuming with our talent acquisition team, with our HR team, with our recruiters, trying to find one technician. And sometimes it feels like an act of futility. Other times it does pan out, but oftentimes it's very challenging to continue that. Which again is why these earn and learn programs are so important to us, because again, they've helped us create pipelines internal, as opposed to spinning our wheels and trying to continue to spend a lot of money trying to find folks that are not out in the industry right now.
Thank you, Amy. You hit on a couple of points of emphasis about the program, and so does Quadri's story. It is designed to be impactful for both incumbent workers that can be upskilled from operators to technicians within an organization, but also designed to help expand the net new talent pipeline for an employer. So an employer can work directly with a higher education institution to get talent that is currently enrolled and then hire them and put them on this earn and learn pathway. So we are excited to be able to have a program that is going to be able, to your point, to expand how you're looking for talent. You spend so much of your week looking for just this specific skill set and these types of roles, and to be able to have an incentive that is going to help you do that more efficiently, we are very excited about. Dr. Somerville, shifting back to you. So as we were building this program, there were questions about whether this type of initiative should be led by an economic development organization. How do you view JobsOhio's role and the investment in this program?
To me, it makes perfect sense. When you look at our role as a community college, part of our mission is to make sure that we are providing access to high-quality training and education for the betterment of our region. If we're able to work together, and you think about JobsOhio role in economic development, you have been a workforce partner because those things go hand in hand. And so for us to be able to have a partner not only at the state level, but with our regional partners in the different areas of the state, to be able to work together to create that alignment, knowing that between our organizations, we're the ones who are on the ground, who are talking to business and industry. You see what, with the scale of JobsOhio, you see what is coming into the state. You see where there are people looking to expand, where people are looking to relocate. Those business and industries and that partnership between the community colleges and JobsOhio really makes this a perfect opportunity for us. And so we're very grateful for that, and because it helps with not only the partnerships that we have, but ones that are coming. We have multiple internship opportunities and earn and learn opportunities with existing manufacturers like Dana, like steel companies, things of that nature. And so this is a really perfect partnership for us, and we think that it makes perfect sense.
Thank you. Thank you. I would like to thank all of our panelists for being here with us. This program is truly a monumental win for the state of Ohio as we continue to our efforts in economic development and workforce development. This program is another tool that's going to be extremely impactful. So we appreciate all of the context from our panelists today, and we are excited to share some more stories like that of Quadri that will come out of this program. Additional details on how employers can apply for the program will be available on JobsOhio's website as we continue to message out information about the Technician Earn and Learn program. That information will be available later in Q3. Thank you, JP. I will turn it back over to you.
Molly, thank you very much for assembling this panel. And to our panelists, thank you for your partnership and your support and engagement in this program. It's here to serve and deliver for each of you in the ecosystem, and we're grateful you can make the time to be here and share your perspective on it. And we'll keep learning as we go. We have a lot of jobs to fill. You have a lot of deadlines and career aspirations ahead, Quadri, and this is exciting. Thank you for your leadership, Molly. We're very grateful. So I also want to make sure to recognize it in the spirit of the partners that have come together to collaborate for this, the Governor DeWine and the DeWine Tressel administration, our board, our JobsOhio partners. Some of them are here today. Our newest partner, Jonas Peterson, from One Columbus, the Chief Development Officer of the Columbus Partnership, Jeff Hoagland of the DDC, Matt Dolan, the leader of Team NEO, Matt Abbott, our leader of Southwest Ohio, Ohio Southeast, Danny Robbins, our newest region, leader of Lake to River in the Mahoning Valley. Your vision, your commitment, and your collaboration really makes this all work, and we're very grateful for all of you. Chairman Rubin, this concludes my report. Thank you.
Thanks, JP. We'll now move to our committee reports, and we will start with our audit committee. Lori.
The Audit Committee of the JobsOhio Board of Directors met once this quarter. Minutes of the previous meeting in March was reviewed and approved, and an executive session with only board members present was held at the end of the meeting. During the meeting this quarter, the committee received the report on compliance and enterprise risk activities from Managing Director for Enterprise Risk, Claudia Harrington. Ms. Harrington summarized her detailed reports, and the committee members discussed its contents in detail. Members of the JobsOhio accounting team provided detailed financial information to the committee for both the previous quarter and the fiscal year to date, as well as detailed budget to actual reviews of expenditures and revenues for the same periods. CFO Dye provided details of the projected annual transfers of private net revenues from the JobsOhio beverage system to the corporation, and noted there is no anticipated downward impact on the level of such transfers until fiscal year 2029 at the earliest. The committee then reviewed, and we discussed and then recommended to the full board for approval the corporation's operating budget for fiscal year 2027, beginning July 1st, 2026. And actually yesterday in the board meeting, we approved that recommended budget. And with that summary, Chairman Rubin, I conclude my report.
Thanks, Lori. I know the audit committee had a very busy session these last couple of months, and we appreciate all your work and leadership there. Are there any questions for Lori? Okay, next up is our investment committee report. John Bishop.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our investment committee met twice this quarter with the minutes approved from the previous meeting and as part of our record-keeping intent. During the meetings this quarter, the committee reviewed and approved or recommended in the larger cases up to $57.8 million in incentives in 10 economic development projects around the state. The funding that is tied to these milestone achievements by the companies involve a commitment that is spread over 5 years in return, as much as 5 years. Again, we're looking for long-term commitments with these new organizations or expanded organizations. The companies involved in these 10 commitments agreed to commit or create or retain, in some cases, at least 3,377 total jobs. The associated payroll from just those 3,377 jobs represented nearly, on an annual basis, $282 million. In addition to those commitments, the capital involved to reach the objectives of these commitments will require at least $1.7 billion to be invested in the state of Ohio. Also at yesterday's meeting, the committee recommended for approval by the full board, given the size of a number of these items, revisions to the guidelines for the JobsOhio Aerospace and Defense Opportunity Program and the JobsOhio Air Service Restoration Program. If you're not aware, we have made a long-term commitment to the growth of airport facilities around the state. There's a direct correlation between the success of an airport in a community and the jobs that come with it. It's a hand-in-glove situation. Also, the committee recommended for board approval new guidelines for the program that you heard just a few moments ago, the JobsOhio Technician Earn and Learn program. It's part of our experiential learning initiative. We can create a lot of jobs, but you have to have trained personnel to fill those jobs, or you're not going to accomplish what we need to do. And we've been working on ways to improve that and maintain the growth that we've had. Also at our meeting, we received updates on some very important additional opportunities and quarterly reports from our corporation's investment portfolio advisors. JobsOhio has an investment portfolio, the proceeds and returns on which help play an important part in the success of our projects going forward. And we have worked consciously to maximize those returns. Mr. Chairman, with that report, that concludes my comments from the meetings.
Thank you, John. Any questions, comments for John? Appreciate your leadership on the Investment Committee, John. We will now turn it over to the Chair of our Compensation and Workforce Committee, Rick Platt.
Thanks, Chair Rubin. Our committee met earlier this quarter. Among the things on our agenda, the committee reviewed our plan of work and our charter for the year with no recommended changes. We also heard from our independent compensation consultant, Newport Group, national compensation trends, and really had a discussion about our comparables and the survey data we rely on a 3-year cycle, and no change to that cycle. After our compensation consultant left the meeting, we discussed their forward-going contract, which will be on our agenda for a future meeting. And we also heard from our VP of Human Resources, Sheila Aikens, on the status of our staff's executive performance reviews. She presented the KPIs and goals for each of our 8 senior executives for the corporation for 2027. So at this point, that concludes my report.
Thanks, Rick. Any questions for Rick? Okay, thank you. Any old or new business that any of the board members would like to discuss? No? Hearing none, we will move to our closing remarks, and let me just start by, first of all, thanking Molly for all of the hard work you've put into this experiential learning program. As we said, and as others have said, this is a game changer, and we know you've put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this, and we appreciate it. So thank you, and also thank you to all of our panelists. And Quadri, I want to say to you, I think you probably could get a raise with all the demand that there is for you. So don't be shy. But we appreciate you being here and taking the time to talk us through that. It helps a lot. And, you know, we sit up here and we talk a lot about ideas and programs and things that we're trying to do, but to see it actually working is really helpful. So really appreciate you being here. So thank you. Thank you for that. And again, I also want to just thank our board. We've had a couple of days of great meetings, great discussion. It's always great to get the insight and get the knowledge and experience of all the people sitting up here. And I realize you all have lives and a lot going on, and I just want to say thank you for all of your help and all that you're doing to help make Ohio a better place to be. With that, we'll go around the horn. Sully, how about if we start with you?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, JP. Thanks for a couple of great days of meetings. We covered a lot of ground. I'm really excited about the strategy going forward, and I'm even more excited about all those great deals that are going to close before the end of the year, we hope. I know the team's going to be grinding. Something else that we cover during every quarter, it seems like now, is the energy issue, and there's a lot of good news on that front, too. Recent industry survey confirms that many companies are already experiencing power availability is now a critical factor in site selection. Utility forecasts show that peak electricity load in Ohio could rise by 50% by 2034. A site without clear, credible, and path to power isn't a risk. It's become a non-starter. Capacity, redundancy, delivery risk, reliability, timing, they're all evaluated before a site can even make the short list by companies. And the latest study by the Cleveland State University just up north shows that Ohio's shale energy sector drew approximately $2.9 billion in direct investment between January and June in 2025 alone, pushing the cumulative investment since 2011 to nearly $117.5 billion. This investment demonstrates the strength of Ohio's energy economy and the competitive advantage of our national gas resources. As demand for electricity continues to rise, Ohio is well positioned to support future growth with abundant energy resources, proven infrastructure, and business climate that encourages such investments. That shift is reshaping the competitive map. That's where Ohio is rallying to stand apart. And Ohio isn't waiting. JobsOhio isn't waiting to respond. It's acting now. This includes a comprehensive energy strategy designed to reduce risk and ensure long-term capacity. So with that, we're excited on that front. And thank you for the JobsOhio staff for hosting. Again, always good to see the regional partners come out and support all of our quarterly meetings. So that concludes my remarks.
Thanks, Scott. Dr. Thornton?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate it. It's great being with you, and I really always get a lot out of attending the board meetings, and I learn new things at every board meeting and then reinforce those things that we've talked about over time. And certainly, I would like to say, Molly, I too would like to add my sentiment about your continuing leadership in this arena. We appreciate it very much. You are keeping us focused on talent development, and we thank you. It's great to see my colleague, the president of Owens Community College, here as well. I am very encouraged as I listen to the commitment that JobsOhio is continuing to make with the learn and earn direction. And for me, as an educator, that is really important, that we continue to focus on ways in which we can enhance workforce development. Earlier this month, I was really enthused by JobsOhio's announcement of the initiative to expand the state's pipeline, particularly looking at skilled technical professionals, ready to work, ready to help Ohio advance. As part of that, I was also excited about the JobsOhio experiential learning, because I am a believer that hands-on is the way to learn toward earning. JobsOhio's investment of over $300 million over the next 10 years to help Ohioans and to help employers continue to right-size and specialize in the positions they have available. JobsOhio estimates that the state will need over 540,000 STEM and technically trained workers, and I think we have the talent right in Ohio as long as we can expand the training and the education that they need to participate. I'm excited about that. I also am excited about the fact that we are looking at earning and learning together, and we continue to couple those two as we move forward. Ohio's future will be built on the people we have in Ohio and the people who come to Ohio. And JobsOhio can continue to be a great part of that growth and that development. And it enthused me about being on this committee and being with you. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Dr. Thornton. Lori?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ohio brings so much unique value to the table, and I really enjoyed the past few days getting to talk through some examples of that. But I specifically today want to focus on one example. So Ohio's unique value in the combined strength of our universities. There is not really a better example in front of us than this month's opening of the Imaging Research and Development Center in Cincinnati. The facility brings together academic researchers, clinicians, and GE healthcare scientists to accelerate the development of next-generation MRI technologies. The real-world academic industrial collaboration united GE healthcare professionals, the University of Cincinnati, UC Health, Cincinnati Children's, and JobsOhio. It is a true successful partnership within the Ohio Discovery Corridor. The new facility is one of only a handful in the world that aims to detect disease earlier, improve patient comfort, and support workforce development. It demonstrates the power of Ohio's network and our collaborative spirit, and that when Ohio's world-class institutions work together to execute a shared vision of innovation and growth, Ohio excels. We will be a leader in cutting-edge research and discovery. Thank you.
Thanks for bringing that up. We'll go to John.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. I joined the course, and thank you for a great couple of days. It amazes me what we can get accomplished when we all put our heads together. In JP's opening comments, he referenced some surveys that have been done in the past, and the hits keep coming. There's one very important survey that was released in April. It's by the Chief Executives magazine. They do a survey every year of 650 CEOs around the country that are doing business on a large scale. And they release a list of the best and worst states to do business in. Now, I'm happy to be able to talk about one of the best states. The worst ones, we'll leave them up to their problems. They have enough, I imagine. But in the survey, Ohio was rated number 7 out of the top 10. And the most important thing about that, we were rated number 1 in the Midwest. And given the amount of population that you have in the Midwest, and the desire of many of those CEOs wanting to do business in a state that has our resources, that's a huge pat on the back, and that's a great tribute to JobsOhio. And the reason I say that, I've been on the board, I think, 14 years, and when we created JobsOhio out of the thought process of Governor Kasich at the time, Ohio probably wasn't in the top 40, or the bottom 10 might be a better way to look at it. And today, you see after study that where Ohio is ranking, and I can tell you, JobsOhio has been a huge factor, maybe the primary factor in that success. And it's something we don't take for granted, but it's been a real success story. The other thing that really comes with that is we are being recognized as a business-friendly environment, which if you're a CEO, and I am a retired CEO of a corporation, that's an important environment when you have a state that you have to do business with. As was referenced earlier, too, and it speaks to Columbus in particular, that it was rated as the fastest growing job growth opportunity in the Midwest and 4th nationally, which considering the cities that we're competing with, is again, great pat on the back. Actually, and as JP mentioned, it's really significant that the growth in Columbus was 10 times the national average. And that means more dollars for the state, more tax dollars, more revenue, more opportunities for those of us that have Ohio is so near and dear to us. So it's a reflection of what Ohio has going. We're excited about the future. JP mentioned our pipeline is twice as big this year as it was at this point last year. And so we're looking forward to a great year end. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, John, and thanks for all your years of service. We have certainly benefited from that, as has the state. So thank you. Lily?
Thank you. Good morning. Chairman Ruben, I loved your opening quotes. So I want to share one that I live by, but I think represents what JobsOhio is doing in every way. Peter Drucker, the famous business leader, said the best way to predict the future is to create and build it. And that is what JobsOhio is doing in every way. And I want to talk about something else that JobsOhio is doing, built on the fact that not only large employers and major investments grow Ohio, but also the thousands of small businesses who take risks, create jobs, and strengthen the communities that we call home. That's why I want to talk about something that is critical to our local communities. And JobsOhio continues to expand its commitment to small businesses across the state. And last month, JobsOhio announced the expansion of the Small Business Academy powered by Aileron, making this program available to all communities across the state and all business owners. The Academy is a free 12-month business growth program designed to help entrepreneurs and small businesses. By opening this program to a broader audience, they're creating opportunities across the entire state, across every corner, to gain the tools and knowledge to grow and thrive. Since 2024, the program has helped 78 business leaders across 46 businesses across Ohio that have completed the program. And the Small Business Academy is just one part of a bigger strategy of portfolio of programs, which includes the JobsOhio Small Business Grant, the Lightship Boot Camp Series, the Launchpad online training, Black Tech Week, which returns to Cincinnati this July. So strong businesses are the foundation for strong communities. They create the jobs, attract investment, and revitalize the neighborhoods and the local economies in which we all live. So I want to thank JobsOhio for that commitment and continued expansion of that great program. Lastly, I want to personally thank the governor and JP and JobsOhio for making that recent announcement at Big Bets for America in Cleveland. It was the centerpiece of that major convening by the Rockefeller Foundation. And those transformational investments position Ohio for the long-term success. So I really want to thank you for that.
Thanks, Lillian. Rick?
I like to hang out with manufacturers. I shouldn't be, but I'm surprised sometimes that the prevailing thinking, really a myth, that all we do at JobsOhio are incentives for companies that are new to Ohio. I guess I'll use my spotlight this morning to dispel that myth. We heard in our days together that 85% of the projects that come through JobsOhio are with existing Ohio companies, and the majority of those are manufacturers. So it was good to be here with Crawdry and Worthington Industries. I told him I was going to ask him a question. I didn't get a chance to do that, but I think the question we would always ask manufacturers is, how can we help you expand? How can we help others follow your footsteps in terms of that manufacturing career? So thank you.
Thanks, Rick. JP?
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I want to close by highlighting what we're hearing today, and what I sincerely have is optimism. I know that optimism is shared by our board, our state partners, our JobsOhio team, and we heard optimism from our panelists on the tools that are being provided to help them achieve their dreams for their business and their career and their institution. Optimism is not based on a single headline, announcement, or project. It's based on a long-term plan and trajectory, and the results that we're just only beginning to see. Project by project, investment by investment, quarter by quarter, year by year, brick by brick, the picture that is emerging is clear. A momentum for our state is climbing steadily upward and in the right direction. What's especially encouraging is that many of these investments are now reinforcing one another. Site readiness, a targeted industry strategy built around 10 tradable sectors and super sectors, innovation districts, workforce initiatives that you heard about today, and more than 3,000 small, medium, and mega projects and vibrant community investments in prior years that are creating a foundation for sustained growth. As more of those facilities come online and hiring accelerates, we're seeing the benefits ripple across all Ohio communities, large and small, throughout our state. At the same time, investments in talent are ensuring that those Ohio companies will have the skilled workforce they need to grow and compete, delivering on Ohio's and JobsOhio's promise to them. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, JP. Once again, thank you all for joining us today. As you can tell, we have a lot of really great things going. We have a lot of great momentum, thanks in large part to the people here and our partners around the state. And as I always like to do, we want to invite you to reach out to us. Please bring us your thoughts, your concerns, your questions, your comments, because all these programs and all of the projects and everything we're trying to do in Ohio only work if we are doing it in collaboration with all of you. So thank you, and that will adjourn our meeting. Thanks.